Hey. 17th of May. And I want to talk about a couple things. First off, I want to talk about how I woke up this morning. It was rather rude. I woke up, my phone is blaring. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And it's the wireless emergency alert thing. Oh, great. What kid got lost? Or we're missing a kid, or someone's grandpa or grandma got lost. No, tornado warning. Oh, it's like 11 o'clock this morning. Now, of course, my first instinct, as I do, is look at the radar. Where's the storm? What are they looking at? I saw the radar, and it is a pretty good hook. Okay. Don't like that. And looked at the velocity, and they actually had a little rotation indicator on my app, and it was showing that like 2 miles from my house. Fuck. So I'm like, I'm up, let's go, we gotta go now. So got up, threw on a shirt, because I'm literally getting out of bed. Find the cat carrier, find the cat. She's in her designated storm shelter. Not that I designated for her, she does it for herself. We went to the basement. Yes, this one, hello you, kitty. Yeah, we went to the basement. Nothing, to my knowledge, nothing touched the ground, which is good, because that also went near my place of work. And I called them saying, you guys know what to do, right? Keep your eye on this one. We may need to take shelter. Just be smart. So that was fun. That's how my day got started. I want to talk about something else. It's a little political in nature, but it shouldn't be. I want to talk about Watertown. Watertown is east of Madison, about 30 minutes east. If you're taking 94 east of here, like heading toward Milwaukee, the halfway point between here and Milwaukee is Johnson Creek, where you find the big outlet mall. You go north on 26 there. That's where Watertown is. Like I said, 30 minutes away from Madison, probably about 45 from here. Watertown is a fairly conservative town. Band director knows this, but chooses to, hi Missy, chooses to play this piece of music. Potentially controversial piece of music. There's a procedure they have to go through. Has to notify the administration, teachers, principal, students, parents. Students are given an opportunity to opt out. This is again a band director. It's a piece of music they're going to play. 3 students opt out, as is their right. They're given the opportunity to opt out of that particular piece of music. They're given a separate project aside from that. Or they're put in a different ensemble. That's a whole other thing. I don't know exactly what happened to those 3 students. That's neither here nor there at this point. This was back in October. Go through rehearsals, learn about the piece of music, learn about who the music was written to honor, what this is written to honor, to talk about. This is the Stonewall riots in 1969. And we have all this time to get the piece ready to go, and it's set to be played tomorrow night, Monday, the 18th. Last week, the school board said, wait a minute. We were never reviewed about this. The fuck you weren't. And they decided, 7-1, no, we don't want to play a piece that glorifies violence. Okay. You don't get to play the national anthem anymore. Ever. You don't. You don't get to play the 1812 Overture or any piece about war. You don't. Now, more than likely, what this was, ooh, this is about gay people, yucky, icky. Here's the funny thing. Had they not done a damn thing and let the concert go on, do you know who learns about this piece? The students who play the piece. Maybe the audience. Instead, the entire area knows about it. This becomes national news. That the school board says, no, you cannot play this piece of music because we don't like it. That's what it boils down to. Cannot play this piece of music because we just don't fucking like it. Becomes national news. I had my friends down in Illinois ask me about Watertown. I told them about it. Again, the funniest thing is, no one knows a goddamn thing about this piece, aside from the students, if nothing is done. Instead, we all find out what it's about. It gets more playtime. We share the piece because fuck those guys. There's even someone who's claiming that the band is playing at a gathering at their local brewing company here in Madison. Although that hasn't been confirmed, and don't buy anything from that fucking guy. This piece of music has no words. None. The only words in the music are the title and maybe some playing instructions, dynamic markings, tempo markings, composer information, copyright information. Those are the only words in the piece of music. The audience doesn't get to see or read any of that. I am not upset, honestly, with the fact that I shouldn't say it this way. It's not the fact I'm most upset for the kids. That's what I'm going to say. I'm most upset for the kids who went through 7 months of rehearsal time, who went through this entire school year expecting to play this piece, getting excited for it. If you've ever been in an ensemble, you play a piece of music, you get excited for it. You get excited for the performance, only to be told you can't perform it. Let's put this in a different perspective. You learn in your history class about the Third Reich and the people and names involved and the deeds and misdoings involved with said organization. You learn all about what World War II is. You learn all about who was on what side and who did what and what constituted, I don't know, the entire war? What justified the war? And then in the very last week, finals are next week. School board said, no, you're not taking that final. What? We know you've been learning about this all year, but you're not taking the final on that. Great on everything else, but not that. We don't want something that condones violence. So now this whole unit that you've had talking about World War II is just off the record. The kids still learned about the events. The decision of the board doesn't erase that. The decision of the board doesn't erase what the kids learned about the piece of music they're supposed to be playing. They just can't play it at the concert. I hope they just do it anyway. And say, the 8 of you don't speak for the rest of the fucking town. Even if you were in an elected position. There's been enough of an outcry to say fuck it and play it anyway. Play it under a different title. Especially that teacher's already looking for jobs elsewhere. I'd be like, fuck it. It's a slippery slope because when you have one side that says, this is yucky, yucky, gross to me, I don't want anyone playing it, I don't want anyone saying these words. What's to say that when the pendulum flips the other way, and it will, that it's fair and just for the other side to do the same thing? That's what I've been dealing with all this last week. I want to play it. I never knew about it until last week. Again, this is thanks to that school board. Never would have known about the piece if they would have just kept their mouth shut and let it happen. And the 5 super duper ultra conservative people who were probably 80 years old each, clutching their pearls, they played music about a gay person. Yeah. Most of your music is written by gay people. Tchaikovsky was gay. A lot of the musicians of the 16, 17, 1800s, a lot of them, you don't even know they were gay, but they were gay. Thing I've heard lately is that this is a new thing. No, it's not. People being LGBT plus isn't new. We're just learning more about them. Same thing with autism. Autism has always been out there. People just didn't want to get their kids diagnosed with it. ADHD, ADD. These aren't new things. They are studies that are being done, and this is a result of said studies. These people, these disorders, all this shit that's coming to light now. Mental health being a priority. That's not new. At least it shouldn't be. Always been there. Certain people just didn't want to actually admit that it was. Yeah. Certain people didn't want to admit that it was there. There's a lot of other things I want to talk about right now, but I don't really want to get into it. I'm very thankful I drive a hybrid because I haven't had to fill my vehicle since April. And everything's ramped up this month really bad. Oh my god, it's been really bad. I've heard no news about the job. I'm not expecting to hear any news about the job. Part of me wants to email and say, hey, what's going on? The other part of me knows damn well that if I do, they're going to say, hey, calm down, hold your horses. We're taking our time to make sure we get the right person. Which would speak volumes. Which would mean that that right person isn't me. I don't want to polish up the resume. I really fucking don't. I really don't want to polish up my resume. I mean, I already have, technically. I like where I'm at. I want to keep that tradition going. You can hear the fans in the back. I've had the AC going all day yesterday and today. It's been actually quite warm up here. I'll be able to turn those off in the next couple of days. Got a line of storms coming this way. It'll probably hit here around 1 a.m., maybe 2. I don't know when. There's a moderate risk of severe weather to our west. In Nebraska and Iowa, Missouri, that whole area. With a 15% chance of tornadoes with a significant 2-hash risk, which means EF3 tornadoes or greater. Those are big. I'd be concerned if I ever see a SIG 3. That means they know they're going to be big fucking tornadoes. I think that's EF4 or 5. You can't say 4 or greater. It's like, no, you got two choices, 4 or 5 at that point. There is not a SIG 4. That's a brand new thing. They've divided up their significant hatched risks into 3 categories: 1, 2, and 3. Four-day week coming up this week, followed by a 4-day weekend. And then another 4-day week, 1 day off, and then 6 days. Anyway, it's just after 11. I haven't done anything on football. We've had an archipelago going. One person has thousands of checks in their game, and they've barely touched it. Or they're like, I can't do any more. It's like, well, hey, we need you to do more because we're all trying to get this fucking done. Like, I can tell you how I have a whole bunch of shit in their games. I have 6 games. One of them's done. One finished tonight. The oddball one, the Mario one, that's done. I have SMZ3. I have Ship of Arcadian. I have Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Link Between Worlds. Link Between Worlds is a Master Sword. Twilight Princess has the Orden Sword. There's just 2 swords left there, so both those have 2 swords left. SMZ3 is a Tempered Sword. The other 2 games, Wind Waker, no, the other one game, Wind Waker. No sword. I have no sword in that game. No weapon. fucking blows. But yeah, it's just been kind of a depressing week. Although Friday was good. Friday was the graduation, Madison College graduation. That was good. I needed that. Good to play with those guys again. Our horn player was different because our regular horn player already had a commitment that night. Makes sense. I get it. We ended up at a place called Liberty Station afterwards, which is a chain, but it's not. I guess they have 2 locations in Arizona and then one in Madison. The fuck? I had the ribs. They were okay. I mean, they do barbecue there, as part of their menu. You can get brisket, you can get ribs, you can get, I think there's barbecue chicken, pulled pork. They do pulled pork with a Carolina sauce. Meh. I never got into real vinegary based sauces. A little bit, fine, but it's got to be balanced. I like a more balanced sauce, not super vinegar forward. They said these were Kansas City ribs. They were fine, I guess. What killed it for me was just too much sauce. Or the sauce was like grainy almost. I like my ribs to have, like, if they have a little bit of a sticky, like caramelized sheen on it because they brush sauce on it and then put it on the grill or under the broiler for a few minutes after when it was done. Okay, fine. But that better be good fucking sauce. See, I would prefer, for me personally, dry rub. Everything dry rub. And then you have the sauce on the side. And the sauce is not an affront to the person who made the meat. You still want to try it without the sauce, but the sauce is there to complement the meat, not be, the star of the show. And their mac and cheese was god awful. Oh my god, it was terrible. It's like they said it was mac and cheese, but there's some pepper in it. Not like like jalapeno almost in the cheese. And it wasn't really cheese, the noodles were super dry. Like, it was bad. Really bad. The chips were okay. I had about maybe, say 3/4 of the meal and took the rest home. They ended up in the trash because I'm like, I'm not going to eat this. This is crap. I took it with mainly because, we were out with the quintet. I was out with the quintet, with the rest of the quintet. We talked music. We talked about, some of the things that I've been doing, some of the things they've been doing. Friday was good. And I had Friday off, too. I took Friday off. Anyway, yeah. It's after 11. Hope you're all well. It's only been a week since we swapped the format, but I really needed to get on here to vent a little bit. It's just been one of those weeks where you have those one or two things that just kind of get you down, and you just gotta talk to somebody. You just gotta get it out there. For me, that's this. I don't have anybody. Yeah, I don't have with the cat, she's not gonna listen. She didn't fucking care. Can't call my parents to vent about life like that because, well, they're not fucking here. I don't really have any other family I can trust well enough to, yeah. Alright. That's it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.